What's going on in the SC430 community? My name's Henry. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix a misfire in the SC430. So, recently I ended up getting an engine code, found out that it was a misfire in cylinder 8, and that could be, you could feel it just based on the way you're driving. Sometimes if you're like just slowly accelerating, you feel a little bit of a jerk, or possibly feels like the car's kind of choking. So my engine light didn't pop up until I saw it flashing, and then it would disappear. So then I ended up using the OBD2 scanner and found out that there was a misfire. I knew it was the ignition coils just because I'm using old ignition coils because I just have a bunch of extra for the SC430, and I just swapped them over whenever I needed them. But today I'm going to show you how to replace just all of them, just because, and then we're going to put in some brand new ones. So I can show you. This is the ignition coil for cylinder 8 that I took out. That was having a misfire, and the reason that it's slightly misfiring is because, I don't know if you can see it on camera, maybe better in the light, you can see there's a light crack right here, which could be the reason why it's misfiring sometimes, and the engine light comes on every so often. So good thing to know when you are replacing these, you want to make sure this rubber seal is not cracked in any way. So that's just dirt. There's no cracks at all right at the actual cylinder itself, and obviously the electrical is still all good and dandy. So we're going to be replacing it with these guys. So I looked on a bunch of forums, and apparently Hitachi is like a performance one. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're going to give it a try. I got 8 right here, so we're going to show you how to do that. You're just going to need a 10mm socket and ratchet. You'll be good to go. So let's get to it. Now we're in the engine bay. You can see your ignition coils here, right there, and then the same thing on the other side. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult. Got one here that I already took out, one here, then you have one behind this cover, unfortunately. It's going to be right here somewhere. And then you got one right there. So unfortunately, we're going to have to take the whole entire air intake out, unfortunately, just to get to that one. To get those two, actually. So, yeah, we're just going to have to do what we got to do, right? So let's get to it. I apologize for the quality change. The GoPro ended up dying. But we're going to start by taking this 10mm, and it'll be able to take this whole thing off. Then we're going to have to take this out right here. So we have a 10 here, or Phillips head screwdriver, and then the same thing over here. Then we want to be careful in taking this out. We want to take this hose out. This hose has the tendency to break. It's very stiff, so you want to be very, very careful when you take that out. And also, common problem is here as well. Be careful when you take this hose out. This has a common problem of breaking. The cord, make sure you get that out in the way. And I believe there's one right here as well. There's a 10mm right here, so make sure you get that one out as well. And then everything should come out. It's just that you have to be careful with these because the things that are connected to them have the tendency to break due to age. Ended up finding another hose, so when disconnecting this guy, there's this hose right here underneath. I just took it out, so just be careful. I didn't mention it from before, but make sure you take those out as well. Don't want to damage these because these break. For example, this one, like I said, this one might be hard to see because it's not focusing, but on the side where the pick is at, it's cracked right there. But with the clamp holding it tight and it's just air, it's not a big deal, and engine doesn't read it as a lead. So next up, I'm going to take that 10mm that I said that was down underneath here. do it with this. Ended up having to take the air intake cover out. So when I took it out, unplugged it, right, took the clip off, unbolted this like usual, and then take the clips off 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then when I lifted it up, I kind of just twisted it right here without twisting this actual piece, just twisting the actual air intake, and eventually kind of just slipped right out. So once I unbolted this, right, took all the hoses out, unplugged everything, whatever, taking this out took a lot more effort than I expected, but no problem. If it's tight, that's if anything, a good thing. So there's no foreign object debris getting in here. So again, I kind of was careful with this because there's a lot of things that may get damaged, so I slowly twisted and pulled until it gave out. So it's kind of sticky, probably because it's been sitting there for a long time. But then the whole thing should just come out like that. So this is what it's going to look like. Your whole air intake. It's got hose here, hose there, with a plug in there, and they have that hose clamp, But now with that out of the way, we have free access to those 2 ignition coils. So now to take the ignition coils out. These are just basic 10mm bolts. Unbolt it, unplug, pull it out, swap the new one in, easy peasy. So I currently have cylinder 8 out right now from the example when I showed. So we're going to first start by putting one into cylinder 8. So good thing to know also, when you put brand new ignition coils in, once it goes into that cylinder, it has to stay in that cylinder. So let's say you're doing maintenance on your engine, right? And you take the valve covers off. Make sure you remember what cylinders they go into. So here it is. Here's the new one. Hitachi. Looks very nice. Do a little inspection. Seal looks kind of to be honest. This looks good. It is a little bit dirty, I have to admit, but hopefully it'll just burn off. So you see there, that's the cylinder. So we want to try to sneak it in here. You know, it might be a little bit of a tight squeeze. Finagle it in like so. So you have it lined up with the hole right here for this 10mm. Wire out the way. Make sure it's in there nice and tight. Want to thread it back in, hand tighten. And then remember, you are fastening metal, right? This being the metal, right? Onto plastic, onto metal. So you want to make it tight so you don't have a misfire again, but you don't want to tighten it too much that it breaks, because then the ignition coil will be loose. You do not want the ignition coil to be loose. Otherwise you will just have the same issues over and over and over again until you end up just having to buy a whole brand new ignition coil again. Wanna plug her right back in. Easy peasy. And then again, taking it out for all of them. They're all going to be the same. Since we're putting brand new ones in, it does not matter what goes into what cylinder. It's just that if you're keeping the old ones for in case like emergency purposes, you want to make sure you label them so you remember what cylinder it goes into. And if you need the cylinder chart, I'll put it on screen now, but you can just Google these to remember what cylinder is what, or label them however you want to label them. Just make sure you put it in the right spot. So now that all the ignition coils are back in, now we want to put in the air intake back. So we want to start with the hose, right? It goes all the way here to here, and then plugging in all the hoses and putting the bolt back. Just have it. Everything is put back in, everything's plugged in, bolted in, hose clamped on, all that good stuff. So, I just don't have the engine cover on just yet, but this is the final, what it looks like to put on all those ignition coils. So yeah, and then all you got to do is clear the code out and then you'll be good to go. Otherwise, other than that, that's the end of the video. Hope to see you guys next time.